guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm gonna do a pizza mukbang with some simply spiked lemonade, strawberry lemonade to drink. And I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna talk about the economy and stuff that I'm observing about the markets and everything, and the real estate market from an uneducated regular person's point of view. I mean, I have a hobby when it comes to looking at the stock market and trading. I haven't necessarily done well with it, but I do notice certain patterns that are developing that I think are important to talk about and explore and ask certain questions. Let's get into it. Okay. Why do you guys think the stock market keeps going up, even though we're at war with Iran? My theory is that they did that to sucker in a bunch of retail traders, younger people, into the market so they can have some exit liquidity over time. It might not happen overnight, but the boomers have to sell their stocks at some point. Because we do need to have a correction or a big crash to reprice stocks and the value of things, because they're no longer affordable. What do you think? That's just my theory. Eventually, I think we're gonna have an oil crisis, and that's coming up soon. And then the rest of the market should follow on its way down, including real estate. So there's really nothing you can buy right now that's safe. The only thing you can do is prepare for survival by becoming self-sustainable, in my opinion. Go off grid, get solar panels, collect rainwater, stock up some food and water. Mostly survival stuff, you know. It's probably hard said it's gone up so much. So I might be wrong, but I feel like it's gotten to a point where it's not sustainable to keep going up like this. What do you think? I think the goal of the elite ruling class is to keep us happy enough and content enough and to keep us thinking we're getting rich and that one day we will have financial freedom. As long as we believe that we're free, as long as we believe that we have a say when we vote, then we'll not revolt against the government. And that's all they want. They need an environment where most people follow the rules because they can control the small population of people who don't. It's kind of like that show Silo on Apple TV. Kind of like that. I know a lot of people say the stock market's been going up for over 100 years. And it's never gonna crash. And it's always gonna keep going up. And it sounds good. Because so far that has been true. But I wonder when is that day coming when it's not going to be true. I mean, it could take another 100 years, you never know, but I have a weird feeling that it's going to be in our lifetimes. And probably much sooner than we think. I don't know. What do you guys think about AI and robots? And they say about not having to work, what Elon Musk says about not having to work soon in the future, not having to save for retirement. Do you think we're gonna have universal basic income soon? Or are we just going to start dying off because it's unsustainable to survive in this world if we continue to move in this direction? By the way, I am in the United States in the Southeast, so I'm talking about this from the perspective of somebody who lives in the US, not necessarily from the perspective of if you live outside of the US, because I don't think outside of the US is going to be as impacted, but I do think the whole world will be impacted by a US market crash. To a certain extent. Especially if we have an oil collapse, like an oil crisis, then the rest of the world will actually feel that before we do, I think, because we are actually a big supplier of oil. And we can just pump more oil if we really needed to. But at a certain point, it runs out. Not that it'll happen in our lifetimes, maybe. I don't know. be interesting if we got to witness the collapse of the US like we saw the fall of Rome. Like, do people think about that? Like that civilizations used to collapse all the time. And now we don't really think about that. We just think we're invincible and like we're gonna last forever. And we forget that humans eventually get to the point where we've had enough with the ruling class and something happens. I don't know. I'm curious if we're gonna get to that point anytime in the next 10 or 20 years. I also wonder if maybe somebody, like a certain country, a certain group of people, is trying to make us act in that way by feeding us a certain narrative. You know, like if one of our enemies is feeding us a narrative that's making us want to revolt against the government, that would be interesting. Or is our government actually that corrupt? I don't know. It will be interesting to see what happens. But I do want to say it's important to enjoy your life while you do have it. Like, find moments where you can just sit down and look around where you are in the room and be grateful for where you are, no matter what you're going through. I've been through some crazy stuff, and I still sit down and find appreciation for things around me. Because at the end of the day, your mindset is what determines how you actually feel about life and the world, and your gratitude, and yeah, it's important to stay positive, even if you see all of the negative things that are happening. Because when your mindset turns to negativity, you start to welcome more negativity into your life. So it's important to overpower the negativity with positivity. And I always try to remember that, no matter what. Like, if the market's going down, you have an opportunity to make money on the way down. If the market crashes, you have an opportunity to pay cheaper prices. As long as you are not blowing all your money like me, left and right. I try to remind myself of the fact that markets can go up and they can go down, and they usually go down much faster than they go up. So, be prepared. something aside for yourself every day, no matter what. When you put yourself first and give yourself 10%, you set yourself up for success. Even if it means not paying a bill or something. That might be bad advice, but I do think you have to learn to put yourself first early on in life, because you can't give from an empty cup. You have to have something to give that's like, and you have to continue to empty out that cup by giving back. You can't just hoard money either. Some of my favorite books that I've listened to lately on Audible are The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma and The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma. Those are the latest ones, and I've listened to it in the past as well. And I listened to Zig Ziglar as well as John Maxwell. Trying to think, some others. What's the other one? I have like, I don't know, 100 or 200 books on Audible that I've listened to, and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People was a good one that I re-listened to many times. The Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The 4-Hour Work Week. There are so many. I try to remember some of my favorites right now. Oh, Deep Work. That was a great book. What else? The Go-Giver. How to Win Friends and Influence People. What's the other book? Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh. Anyways, in that theme, I like to listen to a lot of personal development type of books, and I feel like that's the best investment you can make personally, is working on yourself and your mind and your mindset, and then putting that into action. Anyways, what kind of books do you guys like? Oh, the other good book I listened to recently was The Alchemist, which I've listened to in the past. Very, very good one. I've been running a lot, like in the last year. I started running, and I lost 45 pounds, and it's been great. I listen to David Goggins a lot when I run, and that really helps inspire me to day, every day, building your physical self and your mental and emotional self up to handle any adversity that life throws at you. There are so many things that you can go through in life that could make you think that it's not worth living, but if you build yourself up in your mental strength and you find out who you are by pushing yourself, it helps you handle those times with a lot more ease. And also, you can eat a full pizza in one sitting if you run 10 miles a day. Just a thought. I see a lot of ASMR people eat crazy meals every day in their videos, and I'm like, don't they realize how bad that is? But, I can do it because if I run 10 miles, I burn all the calories, and I actually lose weight pretty much every day, other than when I take like a little rest, like a rest day. It's interesting. The things you learn when you do a little bit of research on how to lose weight. But yeah, back to the markets. I'm actually surprised we haven't had a minus 7% or greater day in such a long time. I watch the markets like every day because I try to day trade. I'm trying to figure it out. I've had some success, but I have a hard time taking profits. I've been up $100,000 in 1 week, and then I lost it all in 3 months. And then I had another trade where I put in a couple grand on Snapchat calls, made $60,000 overnight, and then I lost it in a couple weeks. And so now I'm trying to size down on my trades and trade less, but learn how to read charts better, learn how to read candles better, and learn to ignore the news as much as I can without ignoring it altogether, because sometimes the news does affect the markets. But I often anticipate that it's going to affect the markets much more than it does. So, yeah, I'm trying to figure it out because I would love to day trade for a living and make YouTube videos for a living. For myself, I do it for clients right now. I make videos for a living and do photography. But one day it would be nice to not have to do it for clients and still be able to make a good amount of money. I mean, I do make a good amount of money. Like with my business, I make about $175,000 a year. expenses and taxes and all that. But I'm a one-person business, so most of it is my income. And like, it's good, but I feel like I'm not doing what I want to do with my life. And so I'm trying to work backwards a little bit, let go of a few clients, and work towards something more meaningful. And it's probably weird that I'm doing this now as someone who makes that kind of money, even though it's not a lot. It's probably a lot to some people that would watch these videos. It would be nice to get to that point with YouTube. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know how possible that is. But I want to find out. And I feel like now that I'm working backwards, I can make the time finally to let it work out, by making more content. And I mean, I have other YouTube channels, so this isn't the only thing I'm doing right now. I'm testing out different strategies. My goal is to become self-sustaining here. I have like an off-grid property where I have solar panels, rainwater, and Starlink, and we got some chickens here, and the goal is to also start growing some things so that we can survive basically without needing to go to the grocery store at some point. That's not the case right now, but we do get some eggs from the chickens. We have a water source, so that's a good start. We have a power source, we have some solar panels. I just need to grow that a little bit more. But right now, from the solar panels and from a 30 amp or a 20 amp plug, we are running an entire house, 2 air conditioning units, window units, and we have like Starlink, security cameras, toaster oven. Everything else is kind of on propane, like the heat and the oven. And then I don't live here full time yet, but the goal is to be off the grid and to create like a self-sustaining kind of living environment. Basically to prepare for the crash that I do think we're gonna eventually have. But the problem is finances. Everything is expensive, and so running a business and paying rent and building out this place costs a lot of money. So I'm trying to explore different things to make passive income in the meantime. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Oh, I also tried selling stock footage through Shutterstock, and it didn't really work out as well as I thought it would. But I do want to try again, since I have more time on my hands now. I mean, I might actually do that next after I finish this video. But, you know, now, with my trading journey, I also do think that could work out and help me build out this place a lot further than I currently have it. So just trying out a multitude of ways to make money is something that I learned at a very young age. And so I think that would be my recommendation if you're young, is to try out as many things as you can while you have the opportunity before you get married or have kids or start a career. Try out as many things as you can and always try to aim for the thing that you love to do first. For me, I love filmmaking and photography, and I always structured my business around those things. So I shot weddings for a while, and now I shoot real estate and make videos, and I've shot commercials and short films. And my goal is to eventually produce my own films and documentaries. And I see this as another stepping stone towards that. If I can do my own productions on YouTube, even if it's on a small scale like this, then maybe I can create some sort of passive income that allows me to do that long term in a more, like on a bigger scale. We'll see what happens. Think about the Epstein files. Do you think we're ever gonna know everything there is to know? Probably not. We never know the truth until it's too late to do anything about it. Life would be a lot simpler if you were born into an elite family, but you know, it is what it is. You have to make the best of it. And you have to figure out a way to be at the top in your little area that you are in, because that's about as good as you can do for most people. And some people just want to live a simple life, and that's okay too. But I do think having some goals and ambition in life is a good thing. something to look forward to. To be honest, I don't even want to post this video, but I feel like I have to because I have like this fear that people are gonna judge me and they might find out who I am. But life is too short to be afraid of other people's opinions. And it's like no one's gonna care at the end of your life. Like nobody's gonna care. You're gonna die eventually. And, 100 years from now, no one's gonna remember you. No one's gonna care that you struggled. No one's gonna care that you preserved your dignity by not, speaking your voice. I mean, some things that I have to say, I feel like would be embarrassing to say in public. And I don't say them because I'm like, I don't want people to judge me or to get offended. But if you feel like you have something worth saying, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, unless you live in the UK, where you can get arrested for your opinion nowadays. I mean, as long as you're living in the US right now, you can say whatever you want with very little consequences. But I will say that there is some importance into how you present yourself when it comes to getting work. And so that's what holds me back from sharing my opinions with people on social media, because I do have clients that I work with who are very, how should I put it? They basically want nothing to do with you if you don't agree with their point of view. And so I try to avoid stirring the pot. It's just easier to live life quietly until you have the resources to say whatever you want. And that's why they call it FU money. But I'm not there yet, so I have to keep my mouth shut for now. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little rant. Share your opinions with me in the comments. If you like this type of video, let me know and I'll do more. Bye bye now.